to give massive thanks to all of my supporting members and patrons. Thank you all so very much. Hello, good evening and welcome to everyone. Long time no see. It really has been a long time. I've been right across this big flat plain looking for proof of the flat earth, but I didn't find it. I did find a rather nice beach and a rather hot sun, and it was a bit of a shock coming back to the United Kingdom where it was a little cooler. Thankfully, not as cool as it has been the past few days. Then of course, what happened? COVID. Yeah. Just while we were away, the last couple of days before we were coming back, we heard my father-in-law had COVID. By the time we got back, my mother-in-law had it as well. And I developed it, and Mrs. Sensible the day after, and 2 daughters. There was only one person out of a house of 7 that didn't have it. And unfortunately, one of them got ill enough that we had to actually call a paramedic. Oh yes, thankfully she didn't have to be hospitalised though. All pretty much over it now. I'm back at work feeling absolutely knackered and shattered. Yeah, but I know other people have had it worse. Anyway, it's so good to be back. I've done a couple of videos. Hopefully you caught those. Let's see what we got. Bjorn Kamitz, hello Mr. Sensible and all. I saw Brian Pop Robson there. Dora and Koo. Dora, you follow me everywhere. You joined us on the live stream from Kurradu Island in the middle of the Indian Ocean, no less. The One Sin, hello to you. Someone made a comment about, it was Brian Robson. Lights, camera, powder the dome. Really, Brian? Really? Mr. X, Mr. Y. Brixie Brixamite is back. Good evening to you. And the Snark, Martin H. as well. And I would like to say at this point, only yesterday had a brand new shiny member, Mr. William Foley. So hopefully you catch this shout out. Welcome to you. I managed to grab, I only noticed it just before I went live, well, about half an hour ago, and I managed to update it. So it should be on the list below. So welcome to you and thank you so much for the membership. Really appreciate that. So how are you all? So we missed seeing the suntan. Yeah, this is as suntan as I get. I had to pretty much keep out the sun. It's too much for me. The previous time we went, a few years back, it was almost off season. Not that much cooler, but the sun didn't seem quite as strong. This time it was bad. Got burnt within a day. I'm not kidding. Burnt within a day. Burnt through t-shirts. So, yeah. But morning's absolutely beautiful, and later in the afternoon I tended to wake up at 4 a.m, went out, sat on the beach with an iced coffee waiting for the sun to come up. I did film it, but unfortunately each time there was a reasonable amount of cloud at the horizon, so I didn't get any nice sunrise, being cut off over the horizon, which is what I was looking for. But never mind. And thank you, Crispy Bacon, saying, glad to see me back fit and well. Well, he says, this is just about to cough. I am back. I'll go that far. And as I said, I'm back at work. Second day was today. Quite difficult after such a long break. But there we go. Sunscreen factor 9001. Well, the good thing was I didn't burn my nose. Every other time, first thing goes is my nose. My dome is always good. Although I did tend to wear a hat a lot. So, tonight, as you can see above, Top Left Awards at midnight UK time. And I'm going to be guesting on there, so a late one for me. It works out because tomorrow I'm on a late, so I don't have to get up at stupid o'clock in the morning, which is nice. But I don't know how much I'm going to be able to take because I do feel rather... What's the word? Well, exhausted. This thing's left me exhausted. Mrs. S, it hit her harder, but she's just about over it. Am I recommending travel for everyone? Well, Repo Sandman, and good evening to you. It was lovely to travel again. So lovely. I mean, it's been a long time since we've been abroad, so that's always special. But it felt okay. It did feel okay. I'm pretty sure that I didn't catch the COVID on the actual trip because that was too quick. Because I came down with it with strong symptoms on the day we arrived back in the UK. So I must have picked it up on the island. So there we go. And of course, as I said, my in-laws had it here at home and they don't go out much. So even if I hadn't picked it up there, the chances are I would have picked it up as soon as I got back anyway. So do I recommend travel? If you can, I recommend it. It was absolutely wonderful to get away. And it was just such a special time. Really special time. And a real chance to unwind and not think of anything. Although, of course, I did think about Flat Earth and you guys quite a lot. And I did have a couple of people ask me, why are you doing all this Flat Earth stuff? Go and enjoy your holiday. Well, it was enjoyable. And having just under 2 weeks with nothing to do and all day to do it, I managed to squeeze in a bit of filming. Usually it was things that I was doing anyway and managed to put the flat globe spin on it. And of course the one with the hermit crabs, I thought, oh, creationism. But those little hermit crabs, loved them. So it was just a chance to do some content while I was doing something else. And of course I did do a live stream from there, which was really enjoyable, and it was great to see so many of you join me on that. That was nice. It's a shame that the Wi-Fi wouldn't reach all the way down to the water's edge, 20 feet away from the chalet or villa or whatever you want to call it, campsite. But it was good fun. Good fun. Right, Brian Pop Rodson's wife and yourself still feeling lethargic after COVID. Yeah, doesn't it take it out of you? And the thing is, I didn't get into any discussions or arguments about it. I had several people comment, oh, well, I thought you were supposed to be triple vaxxed. Yes. Yeah, I am. A lot of people are coming down with it despite being vaxxed. Think how badly they could be hit if they hadn't been vaxxed, for those of you who, and I'm sure it's none of you really in here, but anyone who happens to see this and does not put store into vaccines, think how hard you get hit without them. There we go. So I was rather disappointed to see so little Flat Earth stuff being produced by Flerfs while I was away. Brian's logic, of course, is still totally failing to understand sextants, which is nice. Mitchell from Australia is totally not doing anything at all, apart from popping into comments on other Flat Earthers' videos. So I don't know why he's gone quiet. I thought he was supposed to be running a Flat Earth school with a live stream every day. That's what he told me. There we go. And yeah, quite a few of the others have gone quite quiet. I did get a couple of nice messages from Kyle Adams, Flat Earth Institute of Science, when I had announced about the COVID, wishing me well and sending me a funny uplifting meme. So big thanks, Kyle. And he dropped me a message as well, asking if we're going to carry on with this moon thing, and I messaged him back saying obviously I was away and then ill, but yeah, I'm keen to do this, so we will get onto it. I've suggested some dates to him, let him get back to me, but aside from that there's not much going on. Nathan Oakley though, he's still producing his Fed streams, Flat Earth debates, still posting his cut and paste comments all over the place. And there was one of them that really annoyed me. It was again to do with sextants, and when people saying about getting an angle, he says, "Well, you need the flat plane to get an angle from," and he puts about 7 citations in there, all of which just say horizontal, apart from one. There's something about that quote, though. I'm going to do a little video on it. It will only be a little video. He's such a duffer, is that guy. Such a duffer. I came here because why Benga is not here, says Robski. Oh, I'm sure he will. But if he does, do stay. Yeah, Gary. Gary. Yeah, I came across Gary in the comment stream for from some video. I've forgotten whose it was now. And he said, of course, I think the sun is 69 miles high or something like that. And I said, really, Gary? Well, that will mean that the moon, Mercury and Venus would all have to be between the moon and the sun. Is that right? Oh, I'm getting a little muddled now. But anyway, he was doubling down on it. And I said, do a video. And he said, why? That's the information. And I said, no, I want to know your full views. Yeah, I'm waiting for that. And I was thinking the other day when I was having a look through all my favourite old Flerfs, Multi-Tom-Tom. He's done nothing for months and months and months. And Tom-Tom, if you're listening, I am still waiting now about, 2.25 years for your undebunkable flat earth video you were going to do so that I couldn't debunk it. No, he's not here. He's being a nice fool on STST show, says Snark. Oh dear. Oh dearie dear. I hope you all found that video in response to Flatsoid FE's video about cults. Hope you found that interesting. I took his definition of what's a cult, which is the definition that's generally used with regard, or it's pretty much the definition that's generally used in regard to religious cults, although I understand the BITE checklist is more accurate. And yeah, well, you have to look at the video. I thought it was quite interesting, him saying that, but although he's put out another video, which I've not had a chance to watch because it's quite a bit longer, and I understand he's basically just denying it's a cult, or just saying no to all the questions, whether they apply or not. But yeah, I felt that Flat Earth doesn't strictly meet the definition of cult. It certainly covers some of the indicators of cult. And Flatsoid said, oh, it's a good video. So I hope he gave it a like. I don't know if he's going to do a response to that directly. We shall see. We shall see indeed. Oh, JM Truth is an expert in everything. Yeah, I do miss JM Truth and he's stupid. I wish he'd come back. I mean, obviously, Fight and the others got him so bitch made, catching him out so badly. That was pretty much the end of him. But I would like to see him come back. We could do with some more quality content from JM Truth. Sorry, just scrolling down, see what else we got. I don't understand. I can't debunk his video because he won't make it. Well, that could be his cunning plan, couldn't it? It's about all he's got. So how are you all? I don't know what else was happening while I was away. Nathan Oakley is a cult, but I may have spelt that wrong. Yeah, could be, Watto. Could be. Yeah, definitely. Oakley. Oh, do you know, he gets me so angry. So angry. What was it? I saw something of his, and absolutely. Oh no, it was Eric DeBay. Eric DeBay I saw today. He's got a new video out about moon landings, and I managed to watch about 10 minutes of it, and it was literally nothing but either misunderstandings, lies, misrepresentations. Every single thing he said. It's worth a watch of at least a few minutes to see how someone can misrepresent things. It's unbelievable. I did put a comment in, but I believe I'm blocked, so it's probably not there. And what was wonderful to see on Mr. DeBay's video is not a single comment against it. So I don't know if that's because everything he said was undebunkable to everybody else and just me blocked, or if perhaps nobody who is on the Globe side ever looks at an Eric DeBay video. Or he's totally correct. I can't decide which, because I'm sure it couldn't be that he's deleting every single bloody comment that says how crap it is. Could that be the case, Eric? Mr. DeBay? Cleaners Agility Party. Vax doesn't mean you won't catch COVID-19. It means that you're less likely to get crazy sick and die. Absolutely. It's not a case of if you've got the jab, you are 100% guaranteed not to get it. Absolutely not. It means your chance of getting it is a lot less, your chance of spreading it if you get it is a lot less, and your chance of ending up in hospital seriously ill is much reduced. That's it. So it's helping your odds. Sorry, that comment was way back. Oh, second best Bob, member for 20 months with one of his free super chats, says, I got a new puppy. Can't afford super chats now. Oh, wonderful. I'm glad you got a puppy. I'm thinking of getting rid of our dogs and cats and fish, because of the price of electric nowadays and the price of pet food is absolutely ridiculous. But then, I do love, the world requires love, doesn't it? I love my cats, I love my dogs, I love my fish, I love my wife, and 2 of my 3 children. They'll have to work out which 2, or argue about it. I know that all 3 are fighting over inheriting my, I was going to say Neil Armstrong, my Buzz Aldrin photograph. Barbecue at Mr. S's. Barbecue? Why barbecue? Yep, Mr. X, Mr. Y, quite right. Top left is midnight UK time, which is 0's BST. It's 2300 today GMT or Zulu time. Absolutely right. Don't dump your animals. I wouldn't get a cleaner. They mean so much. I'd dump a lot more things before I dump the animals. I wonder how Mrs. S is doing. I can save by feeding my fish to my cat, and the cat to the dog, and the dog to the in-laws. Sunday lunch. Good idea, team. That's a cunning plan. And then when we run out, that leaves just the short people, the children. And then it's Mrs. S, until it's just me. Yeah. Should keep me going for a while, though. Getting rid of dogs. Cats taste good enough, well prepared. Do they, Dora? Do they indeed? I call my children Child 1 and Child B. Oh, I like it. I just called them short. Mine is short, definitely. Oh, I tell you, I was talking with a woman from work, and she told me this funny story. She said that she, with her mother, her elderly mother, was visiting her elderly father in a home, a mental health home, because I think he's pretty much lost his marbles. And the mother turned to her and said, a horse just walked past that door wearing a purple cape and little lace-up shoes. A donkey's just passed that door wearing a little purple cape and lace-up shoes. And she said she was thinking, oh my God, I'm going to have to pay for my mother to be in here as well. And then the mother said, oh, 2 dogs in purple capes and little lace-up shoes had just walked past the door. So she went out and had a look. And yes, there was a little horse, a little donkey and 2 dogs all in purple capes. And she gave me the photographs to prove it. And little sparkly lace-up shoes. They brought them in to meet the residents. But I was thinking, that's very nice. The residents get to see some nice animals, so that's great. But when the residents tell their family, oh, today I saw a donkey who came to visit me in a purple cape with little lace-up shoes, those people are going to think they're absolutely crazy. Good job we got them shut away there. But it's the truth. I couldn't believe it. I laughed so much when I saw the photo. And Judy Bassett, member for 14 months. That's a year and 2 months. Well done, Judy. Thank you very much. Don't invite me to your place for a meal. What do you taste like, Judy? Have you got much meat on you? And would you like to come round for a meal? What is it? I forgot what the bit, liver and some fava beans, something like that, isn't it? And a nice Chianti. Now then, Brian Pop Robson. Now then, Snark hot dogs. You call yours oi. That's like the joke about that woman who's got about 8 kids, all called Chardonnay, and said, well, if they're all outside playing, how do you call? How do you call them in? If you want one particular one, she says, oh, I just use their surnames. Pity we can't harness the stupidity of the Flerf cultists. Yeah. Infinite stupidity. infinite free energy. I like it. We got to come up with a plan for that. Repo's got a new dog. Nearly deaf, nearly blind, has diabetes, and she makes no sound. Oh, she's super sweet, but her tumours weren't cancerous. Well, I'm glad for that. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Snark's having an old friend for dinner. With all the trimmings, roast potatoes and everything. And what's the difference between a chimpanzee with a baby, Prince Charles, and a person with alopecia? One is a hairy parent, one is an heir apparent, and the other one has no hair apparent. Hey, I said that without getting tongue-tied. Wow. Annika, at night. No, you haven't missed much. Where have you been moderating then? Where have you been moderating? Oh, and just again about the Top Left Awards at midnight. I don't know if I said. Oh, there's a link at the top of the live chat as well. I'm going to be guesting on there at least for a while. I think I did say that, didn't I? I'm losing it. Definitely losing it. Yeah. Oh, what we got going on over here? Oh, my FTTT info seems to be playing up. I'm not sure if I'm going to get any alerts. I didn't get alerts for those free super chats. I did go into IFTTT and it looked okay, but right now, or a little while ago, on the Discord server, it just said the IFTTT bot is offline. Quite why, I don't know. What I need to do to get it online, I don't know. We shall have to see. So where are we next? Right, yeah, so I've just been back to work 2 earlies. I've got a late tomorrow and the day after and then 2 nights. So it's going to be quite hard to do another video. Maybe I'll do this little Nathan Oakley one. It will be a very short one. I caught the blighter out, haven't I? Oh, yeah, I don't need to listen to the chat because it's one about his comments. Top Left Awards at midnight, and then at midnight, April Fools. Yes, that's a good... They're very clever, aren't they, thinking of doing the Top Left Awards on April Fool's Day. I hadn't thought of that. Turtle, tie Flerf to a windmill, see if they can see the change in the horizon. Well, if you're going to do that, at least tie them to an offshore wind farm windmill, so we don't have to hear them moaning. I do like a good moan. No one likes moaning more than me, apart from my wife and some of her friends. Oh yes, and the people at work, they moan quite a lot. Come to think of it, most people like a good moan more than me. Well, it won't be April Fool's Days anymore. No, they should have actually set the stream for 23:59, shouldn't they? Good point, Mr. X, Mr. Y. Hit JM Truth. What do we want to hit JM Truth for? He's such a nice guy, and he's got so many skills on his CV. He's a sniper modified. What's a sniper modified? Do you think they taught him how to snipe and then cut off a leg or something? Or took his brain out? I don't know. Ah, Repo Sandman, see all at Top Left Awards for JM Truth's coronation as King of Knowledge. So who do you all think has won the Top Left, or lost it, depending how you look at it? Very interesting. It was a wide range of Flerfs, some of whom are a lot more active than others. Yeah, it's still April 1st here. But yeah, I'm struggling to remember who I voted for. It was either Flatsoid or Mitchell, and I actually can't remember. What channel was Top Left on? It's on Fight the Flat Earth, and I'm not entirely sure, it may be on MC Toons as well. So the link at the top is Fights. Perhaps someone can confirm if it's on MC Toons as well. Yeah, I do wonder what JM Truth thinks CV stands for. Ah, paid, says Mitchell from Australia. Well, I must admit, I did have quite a to-do with Mitch, didn't I? I produced that little video series, Mitch Hiker's Guide to the Fallacy. And I've been waiting for him to do another video so we could have the third in the trilogy. Oh, it's just on FT. Oh, hello, MC Toon. Hey, MC Toon, if you want to hop in for 10 minutes, why don't you? And you can shill out this Top Left Awards and explain what's going on. Do feel free. You know where my Discord is. Rachie better not win. I'll be mad and have to sue FTFE for all my super chats. Bob voted Mitchell. Did you? Mr. X, Mr. Y's telling you to come on in as well, MC Toon. Jason got your vote. Is that Jason Maggard? He's the guy who did the thing in the graveyards, I think, didn't he? Some sort of conspiracy about the ages or when everyone died in a graveyard. I've forgotten whose chat. That might have been on FTFE. Maggard doesn't seem to do much. Working on the house construction. Yeah, not to worry, pal. Not to worry. I hope you're actually going to be on FTFE for the top left, though. You voted Mitchell and Rachie. Yeah, well, I will need to do a fourth or fifth part of the trilogy. We can't have a trilogy in 3 parts. You're quite right, Paid Nasa Shill. But, you know, I must, in order to get to part 4 or part 5, I must proceed through part 3. 3 shall be the counting of the number. Yeah? 2 is right out. But I'm on 2 currently. You will be there. Excellent stuff. Excellent stuff. And I hope you're well, my friend. Paid Nasa Shill vote for Gary, but not many know him. Well, he doesn't do that many videos, does he? He does pop up in chat a lot on streams, but he doesn't do that many videos. I'm waiting for a good one from Brian's Logic. Unfortunately, Brian's Logic, he does say some stupid things, some very stupid things, but his videos are not the most interesting to watch, unfortunately, and therefore they're not the most interesting to then tackle. Jason was a guy who Krugered the Dunning-Kruger. 2 is okay if it's followed by 3. Absolutely right, Dora. So far I'm okay, but I do need to get on to number 3. I wish to proceed. So Mitchell from Australia, please produce some more dumb. We definitely need more dumb. I mean, due to the lack of dumb being produced, the price is going up. Market forces, you know. We need more dumb to keep it down to a reasonable cost. Oh, is Gary here? I saw Gary Bot. Someone said Gary Bot's here. Jason is the vegan Flerf with a shortage of vitamin B12. Okay, different Jason and not Maggard. Oh, yeah, Gary. I hope you're going to be watching the Top Left Awards. You might be on it. You never know. Oh, he is there. So, and he says, "Good day, everyone. Good day to you." Be polite to everyone. Say hello, Gary. Hello, Gary. He's all right. He's been all right on my channel, haven't you, Gary? I got no complaints about you. No complaints. I don't agree with the thing you said, but no complaints. Gary, I was talking earlier about our little discussion in that chat about the distance of the moon. What was it that you had said? It was 39,000 miles or something, or 3,900 miles or something, wasn't it? I think you said. I think that's what you said. So I do want you to do a video, Gary, about that. Russia is increasing their dumb production in order to ease the rising dumb price. Yeah. Well, I mean, of course, in the UK, not only has the price of dumb gone up, but so has the standing charge for dumb, which is really bad. Really bad. I don't know how I'm going to afford it soon. And now that's interesting. Wow, IFTTT is working. Although it still says the bot is offline, but it's just popped up. So Aninkai Atnai super chatted 22 Norwegian krone, I think, with a super sticker saying, "Hey you." Well, hey you too, Aninkai. I'm sorry, I find that a real tongue twister. Mr. Atnai. Well, it could be Mrs. Atnai or Ms. Atnai. I don't know. But thank you very much for the super sticker. Where were we? Yes, so all the dumb is domestically produced. Well, it could be, but in the UK, a lot of it was privatised, and it's been imported. It's being produced offshore and imported to this country, which of course adds further costs. That's never a good thing. Never a good thing at all. Price of dumb in UK gets higher. Boris Johnson might have to start acting smart. I tell you what, I know people have all sorts of views of him as a politician, but I just love the guy. How much is an act and how much is him, I don't know. But his bumbling buffoonery is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So do not take that either way as a vote for or against Mr. Johnson, but just as a big thumbs up to his buffoonery. It must take him hours to mess his hair like that every day. Privatise, yeah, it is privatised dumb production, and then we get a green tariff. I mean, dumb produces a lot of CO2, so we need to produce dumb in a more environmentally friendly manner. Definitely, we don't want to ruin the environment just for our massive usage of dumb. Please check my DM. Okay, I will check my DM. That was just covered up. Thank you for that, colon. Oh, thank you. Let's have a quick look. What's this? Let me just move that window. Right. I've not read it all, so let me see if I can set this up so everyone else can see it, because this could be interesting. I have to set up a screen capture. Thanks for that, colon. No, not screen capture, window capture. There we go. That's the one. Sorry about this. Talk amongst yourselves for a minute. Okay, let's just resize it a bit. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to look on screen. As I said, I've only just been given this by colon. It's givesendgo.com. Upgrade and protect, try thinking. Created by Paul Bevan. The finders of lost geometry. The funds of this campaign will be received by Paul Bevan. Good day, I'm Bev. And just recently I've been under attack for speaking the truth about basic concepts and how I see reality in these modern times. The people against us are using intimidation tactics that make me feel the need to gain some security to my home and upgrade the family's computer equipment to the next level. Due to recent events and intimidation tactics within the community, I feel the threats against me should be recorded, and for this a security camera on the outside of my home and upgraded computer for the continued progress of the Try Thinking YouTube channel would be extremely useful. My son, the inspiration for the channel and the entire ethos behind the Try Thinking name, is both the reason for me being here and the reason for me needing to protect my family and hopefully build a future for him. Help me protect my family name and help me continue our journey on a search for the simple truths. Wow. Oh my goodness. Goal, £2,500 raised. £3,609. What? Look at this. I'm not sure if my cursor's showing. £500 donation from Mike Jones. Is that Mike Jones' little buddy? This is Rakia's fault. Rakia. Now, I don't know how many people are aware. There's been a little bit of an issue. Blue Marble Science. I don't know all the ins and outs, but he's had a bit of an issue with this chap called Rakia, who at least strongly hinted that he was going to contact, I think it's the University of Tennessee, where Blue Marble Science's daughter is studying, to get hold of her, to, I don't know, get in contact with Blue or something like that. It's all to do with his Cavendish experiment, which was going to be on view to those who wished to see it at the university. But it looked like Bev and Rakia were planning on, well, Bev's in the UK, but Rakia, I think, was talking on Bev's channel about going to the university and I don't know what, causing some sort of issues. And So I'm guessing this is some kickback from that, and Bev is, well, I don't know if he's saying he's had some threats. If he has had threats, that's terrible. If he's had anyone trying to dox him, that's terrible. Although I understand that he has a bit of a reputation for doxing people. So I don't know the background behind that and why he feels all this security is needed. But at £3,609, he'll be able to hire a 24-hour armed guard, I should think. Unbelievable. I wonder how long that was going. So I'm still looking at it. It doesn't tell me when. It says created by Paul Bevan, but it doesn't give the dates. Top donations. Well, I showed that one, Mike Jones, £500, but there's two from anonymous donors, both made yesterday, of £1,000. There's a 250, 125, 100, 100 by Mike Jones again. Lots of anonymous hundreds. Yeah, very interesting. I wonder. No, I can't accuse him. I don't know, because who knows who Anonymous is. I'm not going to accuse him of making the donations himself to make it look good, because he'll get the money back minus a fee, I presume. But that is stunning. It's no joke. It's an actual Christian giving website. Wow. Lubo in China says hello from China. Well, hello to you in China, Lubo, and I hope you're well. That's quite amazing. Oh, NASA Shield lives in Rakia's Head, rent free. I've not had any dealings with this Rakia, although from the way he has apparently behaved towards Blue, I'm not sure that I want to. 9 o'clock hero says the fund was only £500 a couple of days ago. That's incredible. And of course, there's no guarantee he's not going to spend it on hard drugs and wild hot women. I must admit, it'd be a tough decision to make, wouldn't it? All that, or just a fancy camera. Yeah. Well, yeah, Conan, it's been running for less than a week, you said. Oh, Lubo, well, thank you that you missed my streams. There was the one that I did in Kuridu, but that would be 6 hours ahead of now, so that would have been the equivalent of starting at 5 in the morning. I don't know. Yes, there weren't many streams, as Dora is saying, only the expedition videos. Yeah, it was hard. I managed to make it back alive, though. Yeah, so $3,500. Well, nice one. Thanks, Colon. Let's get that one up as well, because I'm sure we can talk about that. So we got another fundraiser to have a look at. Let's see if window capture. What's up with that? There we go. Nathan Oakley's GoFundMe. Sad speaker needs fixing. Now, these are apparently some very expensive speakers. I can't remember what he said the original price was, but speakers do last many years, many years. And apparently he's got 6 of these, and he got them at a good price. I think £800, he said. And I'm not sure it was £800 for the set or 800 each. It could easily be 800 each with expensive speakers, of course. But he's had them for many years. But apparently one of these speakers, the tweeter has stopped working, I think. And he needs it fixing because he uses this speaker. You can see it's a freestanding, rather large speaker. He says he uses it for monitoring when he does his live streams. Well, for monitoring, you could just use headphones. You could just use a fairly cheap little speaker that you can monitor the sound on. You don't need hi-fi quality speaker system, especially when so many people who are guesting on your shows will either just be using a cheap mic or a built-in webcam mic or a phone, in which case the sound quality is going to be not very good. And even if they were all connecting in with fantastic sounding sound, a lot of people watch these things on phones, so they're not going to hear high quality sound no matter how good it's being produced. And he wants £1,000 to fix this speaker. £1,000 to fix this speaker. Sorry, I'm just going to move that window across a bit because I realise it's a bit over the chat. £1,000 to fix this speaker. Unbelievable. This is a guy who e-begs. This is the guy who has asked for money to fix the exhaust on his car. That's all very well, but if he hasn't got and can't earn money for the basic essentials like just maintaining his car, why the hell does he think it's justifiable to spend £1,000 estimated at fixing one speaker? Feed your kids first, fix your car if it needs fixing, make do with something a little cheaper for your monitor speaker. Hey, for my camera, I have a £15 webcam. It's actually been replaced once, so it's the second one since I started streaming, because I had one at the start that I'd had for several years. It was replaced with another £15 webcam, because I'm not going to spend hundreds of pounds for a marginal gain in quality when I have some better uses for any money that I may have. This is unbelievable. So how's he doing? It says created 7 days ago. He's raised £397 of his £1,000 goal. Top donation? £65. Well, I'm surprised at that, but it's not quite £1,000, Nathan. Times 2. And a 500. Well, perhaps they don't like you, Mr. Oakley. No, we don't like Mr. Oakley, does we now, my love? No, we don't like Mr. Oakley. How sad. Oh dear, how sad, never mind. Yeah, what does he say? One of my 23-year-old speakers is blown. I have a set of 6 and intend to swap round some of the drive units and look for a replacement on eBay. Unfortunately, the replacement drive unit only costs several $100s on eBay. Yeah. Oh right, the speakers are still made to this day with a modern price tag of up to 10k. Right, yeah, she says the ones he have are definitely worth repairing. Well, I can understand it's not worth throwing it away. Perhaps if you really like those speakers for your listening to music or while watching TV or whatever, you'll save up. You'll save up your hard-earned money, Mr. Oakley, and then repair them. Yeah, because you're not going to want to chuck out speakers that are worth up to 10k. £10,000. But you don't need £10,000 worth of speakers to listen to your flipping YouTube channel. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Well. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, I'm capturing my capture. There we go. So what have you guys had to say about that? We're talking about Gary. I'll talk about impedance filters. Is Nathan Oakley worried about his impotence filter? Is he? Right, Lubo says, without yours and FTFE's live streams, I had to listen to Jose JG Boom and found out he is a moon landing tonight. Is he now? I didn't know that. Wow. Oh well. That'll be interesting. Oakley looks like a long-time smoker. Has he quit? I've no idea if he smokes or not. I've not seen him vape. I would have thought if he's not going to smoke on stream, he would vape. I've never heard anything about him being a smoker or not. Connecting hi-fi speakers to a PC is always a bad idea. PC gives out a lot of high tones. Very bad for hi-fi speakers. Is that right, Captain? I mean, my surround sound system, which is not a £10,000 surround sound system, I had a big blowout. My speakers are now about 8-9 years old, and I think I paid about £800 for the set, and that was me really spending out on for me top quality. Now I know that there are people who are audiophiles. I've got a friend, neighbour 2 doors away, and he's got, I don't know what they're called, they're some really fancy speakers. They're basically flat, they're flat panel speakers, and I'm not sure if they're originals from the 1960s or 1960s design. I can't remember, but these speakers were worth thousands and thousands and thousands, and he uses a valve amp as well, because to him, he can hear the quality difference. Now, over and above the bog standard speakers in a TV, I can, and I suspect most people can, hear the difference with a soundbar or with surround sound hi-fi. But you pay more for better quality, but you get less and less gain for more and more money, which is why the price shoots up and up to get that little bit more quality. Now, I understand there are people who are audiophiles. To them, it is worth spending an awful lot of money. To me, it's not. I wanted what's to me good quality. If I bought those speakers, they sound great, but they sound, to me, to my ears, a tiny bit better than mine. So to me, it's not worth it. But that's fine. If Matey Boy a few doors away had the money to buy them, and that's his thing, that's the bag he's into, no problem. But if you can't afford it, you can't afford it. I wouldn't mind a Lamborghini. It ain't going to happen. Perhaps I need to do a GoFundMe for Mr. Sensible's Lamborghini. Oh yes. Oh yes. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Oh, I do see... do you know, Aninkai Atnai? Oh, I see. That super sticker you gave me actually gives an explanation of what the super sticker is. It's a pear character turning round, waving his hand, saying, "Hey you," while lowering his glasses. How the hell are we supposed to get that from a super sticker? Half the time I can't tell if they're gourds or well, whatever. We've had that discussion before. Is it a cat? Is it a fox? Yes, so anyway, I didn't know that Jose was a moon landing denier. Is that something that's just come out recently? Lubo thinks she has the same headphones. Are they Audio Technica ATX? They are Audio Technica. ATX, I don't know. Have I replaced the pads? They are starting to crack a bit. And every now and then, I get little black bits on my ears. But they're not bad headphones. They're not expensive. Not expensive at all. I don't know. 20 quid? 25 quid, I think. Mrs. Sensible will never let you have a Lambo. Don't rub it in, paid NASA Shield. She doesn't let me have much, really. It's a hard life. You want an EQS, says Mr. X, Mr. Y. Well, I wouldn't mind one of those, but I don't even know what one is. Second best, Bob. Lamborghini Fund, £2. Thank you, Bob. Oh, we beat the IFTTT.com. That's only just come in. Thank you for that super chat. I did have a drive in a Lambo. Christmas before last, my daughter's bought me one of those driving experiences. I do like different cars. I love them. I'd love to have a look at, a sit in, or even a drive of different vehicles just for the experience. And they bought me a driving experience in an aerial Atom, which is basically a cage on a rocket. It's the one that Jeremy Clarkson drove, and his face is going like this. But there's no way I'd be able to push a vehicle like that to get the experience out of driving the vehicle. It would be a case of, well, I've driven one, but I couldn't go that fast and I couldn't fling it round the corners. I'd be terrified and I'd probably crash it. So I actually topped it up a little and changed it for a drive in a Lamborghini. I forget which one right now. I have got a video a long time ago. Actually, it might have been on one of my previous channels. Don't know. And I loved the experience of it. Absolutely loved it. And I drove around. I did overtake. It was on a racetrack. Went to Castle Combe race circuit, and thoroughly enjoyed it. I didn't have to thrash it round. I just drove it at speed, a reasonable speed, because you only get so many laps. You go too quick and it's all over with. But the guy did say, as I was coming up to the home straight, I think on the second time, he said, "Go on, put your foot down more, put your foot down." So I did, and I could hear money exploding behind me. Oh yes. The Snark, €2, get that Lambo. Oh dear, thank you. Can we stop talking cars? Mine needs a new engine, $6,500. Been at the dealers for 2 weeks. Oh, a new engine. What have you been doing to it, Cygnus? What have you done with it? Yeah, set up a GoFundMe. Yeah, definitely. Any suggestions on a not too expensive camera? What are you talking, a standalone camera? Or what? A film camera? I know very little of such things. Very little of such things. Oh, Debunk. Mr. Sense, were you doing any more movie reactions? Oh, excuse me. Do want to. Sorry. I do want to. And Mrs. S is okay for that. We have to find the time to actually sit down and watch one of the films. That's not too bad, but then I have to find at least a day to do the editing. It's astonishing how much editing is required just to snip bits out. And then the last one I did that, cut it down and basically got what I wanted in the video. First thing it says is copyright. So some bits you can cut a little bit more, or you take that section, cut a tiny bit out the middle, or put us in front of it more, whatever, to try and because it is reaction, it is fair use, but the automatic systems pick it up, and you don't want the video to go up and then to have to challenge it. And because those videos have hundreds of edits in, it really stomps on my PC and makes it dreadfully slow. And then you upload it, and then YouTube says copyright, so you have to go and do more edits. So it takes a long time. There will be more, but it's going to be a lot less frequently than I'd originally hoped. So keep an eye out for that. And there was another super chat from Aninkai Apnai, 22 Swedish krona, thank you. Will this do? Motor car. Well, it's not quite a Lamborghini, is it? But that's very kind. Very, very kind. You guys know I've got a Land Rover. That's been out of action for months. Absolutely months. It's sitting on the front drive. It's only a simple problem. The windscreen wipers aren't working. Last summer, the motor had burnt out, and I replaced the motor, and it was working fine, and it just suddenly stopped. Now, I don't know if the motor, because it's what do you call? I forgot what we call. It's a copy part anyway, because original spec motors are rather expensive. So I don't know if it's the part has failed. It's not the fuse. I don't know if it's the wiring to it has failed. I don't know if it's the switch that's failed, because it's rather a fancy switch, because it has to self-park. So it keeps power, when you switch it off, it keeps power through the switch until the wipers go back into park. And auto electrician is my worst part. I rebuilt that Land Rover, and I bought a brand new loom, so I wouldn't have to do any making of loom and so on. And I need someone just to test whatever the continuity testing or whatever, to find out if the power's getting there, to find out if I need to fix the motor, the wiring, or the switch. Until I get that done, I'm not going to spend out a load of money on parts, and it's getting that sorted. So I want to get that back on the road again. I do like my little Land Rover. Mr. X, Mr. Y, one camera I can't recommend, the GoPro 7, piece of shite. Listen, hey, whoever it was, there's a free GoPro style camera available. I do have one on offer. Buyer collect. Well, it's not a buyer, it's free. So it's whoever wants it can collect it. You need to go to the Maldives. The island is called Kuradu. Go down the pier, and about 20-30 metres from the pier, and about 3 or 4 metres down, assuming it hasn't drifted, you should find a free camera in a case. But can I have the SIM card back if you do collect it? Well, there you go, free camera. I'm giving stuff away on this channel. Absolutely giving stuff away. And for those for those of you who aren't aware, quick reminder. It says at the top left awards at midnight on Fight the Flat Earth channel. Link is at the top of the live chat. See who has won, and I shall be guesting on there at some point for a certain amount of time. I'm not sure when I come on or how long I'm staying on there. God420, hello Glass, how are you? $2 Canadian. The Earth is a cube, and Mambo Fund. So if Mrs. Sensible won't let me have a Lambo, do you think you should let me have a Mambo? I don't know. Thank you very much for that, Glass. I hope you're okay. Oh, we got Effed Up World on here as well. Hello, Effed Up World. Well, someone's talking to Effed Up World. Oh, yes, there was a comment from Effed Up World. What's he saying? We don't see the stars rotating in opposite directions. They all rotate in the same direction, rising in the east and setting in the west. It's the apparent direction you are looking. Yeah, but it... Oh, dear. How do we explain? How do we explain? You've got 2 points of rotation, Effed Up World. Haven't you? The stars rotate around Polaris. The stars rotate roughly around Sigma Octantis. Okay? How can you have 2 points of rotation? If you had either a flat disk or a bowl shape, a dome shape with the stars on, whichever you want, you got your point of rotation at Polaris. That's fine. You're spinning it around on your finger. How can it be spinning around another point as well? And yes, they rise in the east, set in the west. But if you saw my spinny chair video, I was on the chair spinning round in the same direction the whole time, and I had the camera. I filmed it upwards as though to the north, and Polaris stars were apparently rotating one way. I turned the camera down, and the floor pointing south towards Sigma Octantis was apparently rotating the other way, but I'm still turning the same way. You had 2 points of rotation. How can you have that on a... Hold on. Right, I'm not sure how noisy that was. That was my coffee machine switching off. Yeah, how can you have 2 points of rotation in the night sky? Mitchell from Australia couldn't answer that, could he? He said, eventually, when I said, I'm pushing you on this, Mitch, when it's in our debate on Fight the Flat Earth, I said, I'm pushing you on this, Mitch. How can you have 2 points of rotation in the night sky? And he said, I don't have an explanation for that. Booyah, Mitchell from Australia. I shall let the guys from the smallest cog work on your rover. Hammond's restoration endeavour. Wow. Mrs. S shouldn't have a problem with a Mambo. Now, Mr. X. Yeah, I have. That's not a secret. But there is a... I don't really want to go into the technicalities of Land Rovers or their gearboxes. But there's a very tiny spring that's in the gearbox. In fact, there's 3 of them called, they're detent springs, they're called, and they can break, and you find them when they flush out with the oil, and I found one flushed out with my oil. Now, to replace one of these springs, I bought some of these springs. They were 18 pence each. Nothing. But to fix them, to replace them, you have to get the whole seats out. You take the floor out the Land Rover, you disconnect and remove the gearbox of the Land Rover and open up the gearbox. Right. But I heard that there was a way of replacing the spring in situ, basically taking off one floor panel and reaching into the gearbox. And nobody knew how to do it. It was a legend that this could be done. A legend that someone could replace this spring in situ. I did loads and loads of searching, and then I found one reference to Dunsfold Land Rover, who are Land Rover restoration specialists, that they could do it. So I rang them up and said, hey, can you replace this spring while it's in situ? I've got the spring and everything. And the guy said no. I said, but I've heard that you could do it. He said, we used to have a guy who could do it. He had really, really tiny hands, and he had the knack. Only this one guy could do it. But he retired 8 years ago. I thought, great. Now, I had a spare gearbox, and I thought, I know it can be done. So I'm going to have a look at this. And I got several long-reach pliers, and I had the springs, and I spent hours and hours, I think it was around a day, trying to waggle this in various ways to get this spring in, because you need about 3 things to be moved out of the way at the right time. And I was about ready to give up, and I got the spring in. I worked out how to do it. So then, with my other springs, I fixed my Land Rover in situ. I videoed it and posted it up, and across several Land Rover boards I said, look, copy this video these are the instructions how you do it. Because you imagine the cost of taking the floor out and taking the gearbox and stripping a gearbox down. Instead of that, I reduced that to lifting out one floor panel, and using this particular technique you could replace it in situ. I am legend, and I actually informed Dunsfold Land Rover, these Land Rover restoration specialists, who are now aware of how to do it without small hands. So that's my claim to fame, or one of them. And sorry, I haven't been watching the chat, so I don't know what is going on. Dora says, sounds like a job for child labour. Train one of your tiny people. Dora, I did try and get one of my little ones to do it. The problem is they needed physical strength to do it as well. Right, F That World says, there are 2 points of rotation in the sky whether the ground is flat or spherical. Okay, F That World. Pick. I don't know what model you hold to, but those stars, I'm assuming that you don't think that they are suns, many light years away, but whether they are or whether they're literally fixed on something like let's say a flat disc. Let's say it's a flat disc above you, like a record, an LP record. How many holes does an LP record have? One in the middle, and the record rotates about it. Make a second hole in that record. You could have the record rotate against that second hole instead, although it would be, going not elliptically, but do you know what I mean? The record wouldn't be rotating evenly. Now get it to rotate around 2 at the same time. Alternatively, get a bicycle wheel. It has a hub in the middle. Put another hub somewhere further out. Get it to rotate around both at the same time. It can't be done. Can't. You're a silly person. F that world, you're a silly person, silly man. I'm actually not sure of a world that has only 1 point of rotation in the sky. I live on Earth in reality. Yeah, we're not saying there's 1 point of rotation in the sky. There's 2. It's a 3D apparent sphere around the globe Earth. You take any object you want. In fact, it's behind there. You take a football. You think of, no, not a football, basketball. Harlem Globetrotters spinning a basketball on their finger. So there's 1 point of rotation. Guess what? It's got an axis through that basketball. At the top, you could put your finger at the top as well. It'd be spinning around both points of rotation. So if that basketball was the celestial sphere, you've got 2 points of rotation. You take any object. My e-cig, it's turning, it's got a point of rotation at the top, a point of rotation at the bottom. Hasn't it? How can it have anything else? Strange, man. Land Rover 110 County Station Wagon, the best city car I ever had. Steel girders for bumpers. Hey, Robski, I used to have a 110. Mine's a Series 3 88 inch now. Had a 110. And a place I was working at, I went into, it was sort of on the edge of town, and I had to go into town for something. Parking was atrocious, and driving along the high street there was a parking space, so I just drove past it. I had to wait for some traffic to go past me so I could reverse park, and as I started to reverse, this other tow rag whizzed up and was about to go into space. I thought, I'm not having that, so I carried on reversing. He saw me coming, he backed back out again. Yeah, don't want to argue with a 110. Right, Gary Wybenga. Perfectly round star trails are not possible on an Earth that is simultaneously orbiting the Sun. There would have to be a second motion. Gary, scale. Absolutely, scale. The stars are many light years away. Many light years. And orbiting of the Sun, well, in 24 hours you orbit 1/365th, roughly, of the journey around the Sun. So technically speaking, there is wobble, but it's so slight you ain't going to measure it. Scale, my dear chap, scale. If only we could perhaps have a GoFundMe for classes in scale for flat earthers. Would you attend class, Gary? That would be interesting. Loki Fish Mars says, if I was wrong, I don't know what you're wrong about, or possibly, then celestial navigation wouldn't work on flat Earth. It works just fine, and I proved it. Yeah, celestial navigation. How can it work on a flat Earth? You can't produce the what's the word? The correct distances from Polaris as GP at GP, because for every 10 degrees, instead of if you took 690 miles for every 10 degrees, as you would get on the globe Earth, on a flat Earth, the distances would not equate with those angles of elevation. Yes, Mr. Oakley, you can get an angle of elevation no matter what shape Earth you're on, flat, dodecahedron or whatever, because you're not using the surface you're stood on to get the angle of elevation. It's what you do with the angle of elevation afterwards that enables you to navigate, and that requires a globe, which is a funny round thing that we all live on, Mr. Oakley. Well, how are we doing for time? 7 minutes past 10 already. It's flying when you're having fun. Gary Wybenga never went to school, says Dog Walker. He couldn't hold a pen in his sausage fingers. Oh, right. Gary says, Mr. Sensible, scale won't help you. The lesser closer would be the most noticeable. That's how parallax works. Hold on. We're not talking about parallax here. Well, first of all, parallax of stars is incredibly tiny. You need some good equipment to notice it, and probably 6 months difference between the two views of a star. Now, what you're talking about is if we were stationary but rotating, you get a nice round circle. But if we're moving, yeah, you're going to get little spirals in effect. But distance-wise, those stars are so far away, and you're talking about stars rotating over the course of several hours during a night. Well, yes, Earth has moved a bit, but the difference that's going to make, I bet you can't measure. I wouldn't be surprised if it's impossible to measure with the level of equipment we got. You're expecting to get some looping spiral. No. Scale matters. So, I mean, we're 93 million miles from the sun. So, what was it? Here's where I'm bad. Is it 2 pi d? 2 times pi times the diameter? Or was it... Oh, I'm forgetting which is which now. We've got pi r, whatever it is. But the circumference of the Earth's orbit is, what, is that 180, 190 million miles? Something like that. And you're not doing that in a night. That takes half a year to get to the other side. At 108, yeah, that's 180 million miles away, isn't it? 190 million miles away. That takes you 6 months. So over a few hours, you think you're going to see the stars wobble around. Everything is far away. Yeah, those stars are far away. So are those stars as well. F. World says colon, and if you do the math and calculate the aspect of the stellar rotation, you'll come up with a stellar sphere above the Earth. Thanks for playing, and welcome to Globe Earth. So what? F. World, Mr. Sensible, this guy isn't like a record. I'm not quite sure what you're saying there, F. World. I'm really not sure. Well, think of yourself on the top floor of a building, okay? You look up, if you rotate, the clouds appear to rotate above you in one direction. You look down, sort of, towards the city below you, carrying on rotating, it will appear to be rotating the other direction. It's actually rotating the same direction, but you have a point of rotation above your head and a point of rotation below your feet. If you are the Earth, you have a point of rotation above the north and a point of rotation below the south, or above the south from upside down, which is sort of Australia vision. You know what I mean? That's not difficult. Surely. How can you have 2 points of rotation unless it's a 3D object? There we go. Extra J. Gary, if you're looking at a mountain 50 miles away and you move an inch left or right, would there be noticeable parallax? Good point. I use something similar. If you're stood there and you've got a tree right in front of you, but the trunk of the tree, and there's mountains in the distance, as you move, or maybe even as you blink your eyes, you'd see the tree apparently jump against the background of those mountains at a great distance because of parallax. But those mountains could have other mountains behind them. You see, you take several steps, several hundred steps, maybe go a mile or two, that nearer mountain will still look in an identical position compared to the further mountain because of distance. So scale absolutely matters. Gary needs some Father Ted in his life. Oh, Martin, that's true. Funny old world. You've got humans who are brilliant enough to make the James Webb Space Telescope, while others can't figure out what the Earth is. Yeah, definitely. Lubo in China, please play my 1-minute debunk videos for Effed Up World. He will sure like them. Well, perhaps someone can find a link. Perhaps someone could find a link to Lubo's 1-minute debunk video or videos or channel and post it in there. Stop trying to explain 3D to Gary of Effed Up World. They can never understand. Yeah. Oh, Gary, I've heard that you can now order Ds from Amazon. I suggest you purchase 3 of them. Dog Walker, not only 2 points of rotation, but the equator, there is no rotation. That's right. If you're stood on the equator, you look east, those stars are coming straight up, going over your head and going straight down behind you. But if you look to the left and the right, the stars will apparently go in an arc around points that are on the horizon. It's not difficult. You sent another cheese video. It's been a little while. Where's the south end of a plane? Angular distances between the stars don't change no matter where you stand on the Earth, on the surface of the Earth. Absolutely right. Because was it Oakley? I'm sure it was Oakley, and I think I did a video about it. He was claiming that if Earth was rotating, because of parallax, we'd see the constellations change over a few hours. What? Again, scale. Technically, as we move, we're causing parallax, but you won't be able to measure it. You're certainly not going to see it by eye. Andreas Elt says top left at midnight. Is that midnight UK in about 1 hour 47 minutes? That's right, Andreas. It's midnight in real money, not that foreign money. Okay. So yeah, it's 2300 Zulu time, which is or GMT, which is midnight BST, British summertime. Yes, this is British summertime. I had snow on my car this morning. Wonderful. We would see those constellations change if the Earth was flat. Although, again, no, Mr. X. Well, actually, a couple of things with regard to that. It's going to depend how far away the stars are, and this is one thing that's actually quite hard to get your head around. We know that starlight comes and hits us parallel, which would mean, let's say I'm stood at a point on the Earth and star X is directly at my zenith. I believe that no matter where I am on the Earth, star X will always be at my zenith. I'm sure that's right. Trying to picture that in my head is a bit strange, because you'd think, well, if you moved it would be more to the side, but no, the light's coming at you parallel, so it won't change. And light to a star that's over there will always be coming from over there, no matter where you are on the Earth. That is right, isn't it? Assuming if the Earth was a non-rotating flat plane with stars at stellar distances, with light hitting you parallel, can someone who can 3D very well and visualise it, is that the case? The stars' positions would never change, so you'd always, no matter where you are on the Earth, have the same star at the zenith. Can someone confirm that for me? That would be interesting. Yes, 2300 UTC, Zulu, GMT, ABC. XY says the constellation would change because the angle you're looking at it does change. Well, I don't think that's the same point we're making. And Kalina says the stars would never move. Because, yeah. Mr. X is right. I'm not going to argue about it. That is my understanding. Is with stellar distances, if the Earth is non-rotating, well, obviously they wouldn't move because of rotation, because it's non-rotating. But I believe you'd have exactly the same star field over your head in exactly the same positions wherever you are across the flat plane of Earth. Had says that's right, and the star is 100 times wider than the Earth. Projectors would change your perspective. I don't know if anyone... Oh, Galaxy A40s says if they are far enough. That'd be interesting. As I said, to my understanding and how I picture the geometry of it, I don't think you'd get any movement. So if I was at the North Pole on a flat, non-rotating Earth with Polaris right above me, if I moved to the equator, I would still have Polaris right above me. That's my understanding. To be fair, on flat Earth it would never be night, so stars wouldn't be a problem. Thank you. What's this? Oh, Auditing the Absurd. Is he in here? Ranty. I think I see someone speaking to him. Flat Earth idiot says stars are not at stellar distances. Well, actually, technically speaking, even if they were only a mile up, that would then be a stellar distance, wouldn't it? If that's the distance to the stellar objects. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. If the stars were painting on a dome, they would change location. Yes, they would. Absolutely. If the distance of the stars were a few hundred or a few thousand miles, yeah, you'd get movement. If they were on a dome, then just movement. If they weren't on a dome but were scattered about at varying distances, you'd get extreme parallax. If they're at the stellar distances as we understand them, yeah, I need to chat with someone to see if someone can confirm that for me, though. But that is my understanding. Maybe someone can do one of those. Maybe someone can do one of those. What is it? CAD package things where someone's drawn a star at a scale distance or roughly scale distance and see how it would affect if you moved across the Earth, because it's still going to be. I'm sure it's still going to be the same. F. That World says, no, if you're at the equator, Polaris will be real close to the horizon. Well, I can't recall. Is Polaris about 700 light years away? Something of that order. Let's say a bloody long way away. So if we had a flat Earth, never mind whether it's actually circular or square or whatever, but a flat Earth that is not rotating. So if you moved from the pole to the equator, you think how you're changing that triangle between pole, equator and star. You're not, because the light's hitting you parallel. So I believe it will still be directly above you. When I say I believe, would I put money on it? That is I do want to know. Is there anyone who does know for sure? If there's anyone who can confirm it. Oh, Observer says, nope, it would be directly overhead for everyone on flat Earth. Polaris is distant. Oh, 300-400 light years away. Thank you, Earth is Life. Oh, hello, Earth is Life. Not seen you around for a while. Good evening to you. Yeah, Observer, you said it would still be directly overhead for everyone on flat Earth. Yeah, it's a funny thing to think of, isn't it? But I suppose it's like that distant mountain. You know, anywhere along a stretch of highway, that distant mountain, is always exactly east of the highway. But obviously, if the highway was rotating, then the position of that mountain would apparently change. That's I'm sure it's right. I see loads of stars tonight. A lovely British summertime frost tomorrow morning. Then says second best pop. Oh yeah, definitely. Right, F. That World says, I think it's dumb to say that on a flat Earth, Something would be different in reality. We live in reality, and Polaris isn't zenith when you're on the equator. That's real. No, well, that's right. Polaris isn't zenith when you're on the equator. Absolutely correct. And you go beyond the equator, and it disappears. Why? Why does it disappear, effed up world? Because it's apparently above a flat plane. So what's hiding it? I'm thinking with globe logic. Do Flerf believe space is even real? It's my cunning plan, lair of evil. Oh, Had says I'm correct. Thank you, Hads. You know, I'm being open and honest and saying that's what I... Because I've not heard any discussions about it. That is how I believe it would work and how I visualise it. And, hey, if you guys turned around and said, no, Mr. Sensible, you're quite wrong because of X, Y, Z. That's fine. I'd be wrong. Bjorn Kamitz, good evening to you. 100 shiniest Swedish kronas. It's been a long week, and I have to hit the sack. But it's always nice to catch Mr. Sensible live, smiley face. Keep up the good work, my friend. Well, thank you very much, Bjorn. I hope you have a jolly good sleep. I really do. Night before last, I just laid there, and it reached about 3:30 in the morning, and I think my alarm goes off at 5, and then I finally fell asleep. Absolutely shattered. Next night, I went up to bed at 8 o'clock and was out like a light. So anyway, I hope you have a good night's sleep. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. What's this? Oh yes, according to Flat Earth Cult, the sun is directly north at midnight, no matter where you observe it. It must be. At the other side of the pole. So what hides the sun? There you go, effed up world. Yeah. What hides the sun in the middle of the night? Never mind about whether you should be lit or not. Where the hell is it? It's on the other side of the Earth, i.e. directly on the other side of the North Pole. So why can't I see it? What's hiding it? And F that world says Polaris is 45 degrees all the time from where I live in Minnesota, right near Muktoon. So, F that world, a quick calculator, 45 times 60. That means you're 2,700 nautical miles from the North Pole. I didn't have to see the GP of the North Pole to work that out. That works on a globe. So, if you were only... Oh no, we all know. None of you guys can do the Polaris challenge. We know that. What's his name? Mitchell from Australia was the only one who had a go at it when I offered £100. And he got it wrong, but demanded his money. If you look at Polaris, it will always be in the middle of your line of sight. Yeah, but would it always, on a flat, non-rotating Earth, Tiny Captain, would it always be at your zenith? Flat Earth model is only a model that H.G. Wells had built to stop the Martians attacking in 1897. Yeah, you'd have thought that they'd have come up with a cure for bacteria and viruses or whatever and attacked again. That's my concern. That's my concern. What if Martians get the COVID jab? Then they'll be able to stroll straight in it, and we've had it. We've had it. You showed exactly how celestial navigation works on Flat Earth, Loki Fish Mars. You should... Hey, why don't you go for Muktoon's Flat Earth Celestial Navigation Challenge? I did check with him, and he said it's open to anyone, because I said I might have a go at that. Yes, effed up world. As you move away from something that's above you, it appears to go down towards the horizon. Yeah, until distant ground interference makes it disappear into the horizon. Well, effed up world, you think of a long corridor with lights in the ceiling. As they go away from you, they do appear to get lower, don't they? But they also appear to get closer together. I.e., if you were travelling along, the light a far distance seems to start off moving towards you very slowly, then faster till it whizzes over your head. That doesn't happen with the sun. It always goes at the same speed, roughly 15 degrees per hour. Thanks, Bob. Yeah. Oh, Fliverjay, my co-worker is a flat earther. We're good friends. Well, I don't see that's a problem. That's, that's no problem at all. I would quite happily be friends with any flat earther who was a decent person. That's got nothing to do with it. It's actually really fun talking about the subject with him. Well, that's great if he can, and you can each withstand teasing and that. I just do my best not to be condescending and try to understand his point of view. I have no problem with that. I think that's good. And hopefully, if he's open and honest and can see that you're being open and honest, he will look genuinely at what you say. And maybe just maybe, you can change his mind. Fingers crossed. But good for you. I wouldn't have a problem with being a friend with a flat earther. I used to say, because we were asked at one time, which flat earther would you like to have a pint with? And at that time, I'm not even going to name him now. I named a name. And I genuinely would have liked to have sat down, had a pint, even though I don't drink pints, but sat down, had a pint with him and chatted about it. I have no problem with it at all. Unfortunately, he turned out to be an awful git, saying horrible things, and I won't speak to him now. Earth is life. Super chat $5 US, thank you. F'd up world. If I'm 47 miles from the North Pole, what angle should Polaris be above the horizon on a flat Earth? So there you go, F'd up world. There's a question for you. Earth is life has a question for you. Question. Oh, what's happened here? Right, there we go. Yeah, so perhaps you'd like to answer that. Oh, Thud asked if F'd up world's running away. Don't run away, F'd up world. You are welcome. You genuinely are welcome to be here and post. Quite obviously, 99.99% of the people in here are going to disagree with you. That you're going to take some stick. But I'm sure you've got thick enough skin to take that. You won't be muted or booted or anything like that just for holding a differing opinion. Definitely welcome to stay. So don't run away. And as Colon says, yes, you have been up here before. If you wanted to come on Discord chat, it's 10:30 now. I'm only going to go on a maximum of 30 minutes now because I am guesting on the Top Left Awards tonight, midnight UK time, so in about an hour and a half on Fight the Flat Earth's channel. So I will take that as a chance for a break and a bit of a drink and a good yawn. Excuse me. Sorry, F that world. It's not that you're boring me or anything. So I will then be back joining Fight Flat Earth at midnight. Polaris does the exact same thing that it actually does when the Earth, whether the Earth is flat or a globe. Only it doesn't, F'd up world. This is the point. We know that if you move 1 degree away from Polaris at zenith, you've moved 69 miles, and move another degree, it's another 69 miles, continually until you reach the equator, and then it drops below the horizon. But on a flat Earth, that can't be the case, because for every degree further away you get from that vertical, the distances at the bottom have to increase. So if it's 69 miles for the first degree, the next one might be 69.25 miles. The next one 70 miles, and then 72 miles. It gets worse and worse and worse and worse as you get further away from it. The geometry doesn't work. Flat Earth is broke. It has ceased to be. It's gone to meet its maker. If you hadn't nailed it to the perch, it'd be pushing up the daisies. Oh, Colin, I like that. If you've been here before, please hit the like button. If you haven't, maybe hit it anyway. Yeah, come on. I'll tell you what, F'd up world. And, F'd up world, do hit that like button. Because you have been treated, I think, quite fairly, hopefully. Exactly. Linear functions. Oh, Loki Fish Mars. You can't say things like that. That's maths, isn't it? It's maths. Brixie says, please explain why local suns should get bigger when you get closer on a flat Earth. Well, yeah, it's got to, hasn't it? Well, if an object's going further away, especially if you're going to say it's going to disappear due to the diffraction limit, it's got to get smaller. Everything, when it gets further away, appears smaller. Perspective, which flat earthers do like to shout on about, don't they? And yet, if you watch or film the sun or photograph the sun through a filter so you're not blinded by glare, you'll see the sun stays the same size throughout the day. How does that work, F that world? Oh, sorry. I'll tell you what. I'm going to apologise to you, F that world. And apart from Gary, who was in here, I don't know if he still is. You seem to be the only flat earther, so you're getting a lot aimed at you. So good on you for staying. And I've not seen you do anything that has got the mods all triggered. So that's good stuff as well. So thank you for that. Yeah, Dave Rogers, I did ask for an explanation of 2 celestial poles. We didn't really get anywhere with that. Meths. Yeah, meths. There's numbers and stuff, isn't it? I heard of that. Yes, it has climbed down the curtain and joined the quiet invisible. You are quite correct, Mr. Colon. The damn sun doesn't get smaller. No, it doesn't. Has someone said it does? Has someone said it? Oh, hello, PJCnet. You missed me. I assume you talked to me. Hope you talked to me. Glad you're better. Thank you very much, if that was to me. I'm glad I'm better too. And I'm glad you missed me. And I'm glad you're here. I think you need to help F that world. I think we've broken him. Yeah. PJC. Well, actually, I did have... I'm not sure if it was you, PJCnet. It may have been. I honestly can't remember. I know that... No, actually, I think it was someone else. In my post on the community board where I said about the COVID, it was someone else said, I'm a flat earther, but I still hope you get better from COVID. No one should have to suffer, or words to that effect, which I thought was really nice. Well, that's absolutely right. And I mean, I wouldn't want to see anyone suffer with, well, either COVID or any other illness anyway. No matter what their beliefs. Oh, the heating's just going off. It straight away started to feel colder in here. It's not very warm in this locale at all. Although my temperature says 21, it doesn't feel like 21 in here. There's a problem with this. It's a garden office. In the winter, I can come down here and it's 4 degrees. In the summer, it's about 38 or 40 in here. So I'm glad I've got an aircon stroke heating unit. Otherwise, the place would be unusable. F World gives thumbs up. Love you all anyway. Well, like I said, F World, this is, I hope, a welcoming place. Doesn't mean you're not going to get argued with. Doesn't mean you're not going to get a bit of stick. But as long as you stay within... I'm not talking or aiming this at you. I'm talking people in general. But as long as people stay within the rules, i.e. no abuse, no gratuitous swearing, no hate speech of any kind, then you're welcome to post. Okay? Oh, right. What's this? F World, you'll be missing the top left awards. I don't know. Was F World actually a nomination? Was PJCnet a nomination? I don't know. My live stream might even watch the top left. Oh, F World, you've got a live stream. I didn't realise that. You're going to watch the top left awards a bit. Well, let's hope you don't win then. Is my aircon set to Fahrenheit? No, it's set to real money, centigrade. I don't know why people still use Fahrenheit. Although, it's funny, UK's a real strange mix. We'll talk about, it's -2 degrees centigrade or whatever on a cold day, but in the summer we'll say, oh wow, it's got to 75 Fahrenheit. Go figure. Go figure. Or Kelvin. No, it's not Kelvin. That would really throw people, wouldn't it? What's this? Marcus Dresden. Some guys sell their grandmother for 10... What is this? I'm not going to get stuck in into an argument. PJCnet said you got one person nominating you and you needed 2. Oh no. Look, PJCnet, if you're going to tell us that you didn't manage to get on the failing awards. You failed to get on the failing awards. You should keep it quiet, keep it secret, keep it safe. No, I'm glad if you didn't get nominated. Mr. Sentimore, I assume that's a typo. Mr. Sensible, do you think it's possible to consider what the sky might be if it were actually doing what we observe it doing? I'm not quite sure what you mean, F. World. It's a 3D environment with the little lights being rather big but a long way away. And as we rotate, you think of a mixture of dough with raisins in. And you've got an object on a fork, whatever, in the middle. As you turn it around, those raisins appear to be rotating about you in a 3D medium. That's all it is. So it's a whole lot of nothing with lumps of gas plasma in them and some rocky bits and a lot of dust. So I'm not quite sure what else you mean by your question. If you want to expand on that, do feel free. Do feel free. PJC Nets expect FTFE to say he's won and says April Fool. Wow, it could go like that. Maybe you're going to put money on Fight the Flat Earth winning. Come on, what do people think? Everyone have a name. Please name who you think is going to win the top left awards. Let's see if there's a consensus on here. See if we can predict it. I'm not going to give my views. So, yeah, drop a name in there. Oh, Bob and Jaron didn't make nomination. Wow. I'm surprised. But then, neither of them, Bob and Jaron, they don't engage, do they? They don't do videos that engage with. They don't do debates. They block people. I suppose it protects their audience. But yeah. Right, so we got a couple of Mitchells, several Mitchells, a Rachie, Trey, Mitchell. Oh, Mitchell's a popular boy. I voted Mitchell. Support Gary Wybenga. Oh dear. Riley won't win. He'll place second or third where he belongs. Yeah. Rachie, Sleeping Warrior. Mitchell will win, but I voted for Gary and FTFE. Oh dear. FTFE shouldn't have even been nominated. Well, I think it's fair enough, though. I think it's fair enough. But I agree it'll be a bit embarrassing if he does win. Mitch can't win. Australia doesn't exist. Well, there we go. Graham Truth. 15 degrees per hour. Interesting. It is interesting, Andreas. Rachie's going to beat Riley anyway. Well, that's what he's hoping. So I've heard. Oh, did I say that out loud? Did I? Oh dear, that was bad. Very bad. Sorry. Definitely sorry. Sorry for that. Level of Observer, says Hads. Yes. Brian. And his Sky Miles. Oh, that's so special, that is, that Sky Miles thing. I don't know why they can't grasp it. Are people like Brian just willfully misunderstanding it, or do they just really have no idea? All we're measuring is an amount of rotation. If that is zenith, and then I've moved somewhere else, how far have I rotated? That's all you want to know. And then knowing that that rotation is around a sphere, or your position is moved around a sphere from that GP, it's just how much of that sphere, how many degrees, minutes around that sphere, or seconds around that sphere, and that's converted to a distance because we know the total around the sphere. That's all it is. All this guff about, oh, you can't get an angle from a curved surface. What the hell is Oakley talking about? You can use a bubble sextant, so that's an angle from the vertical. You can use an artificial horizon and half the angle. You can use the visible horizon and then correct it back to allow for refraction and drop, and then get your angle. All of those give you the same thing, an angle. Okay, so let's say the Earth is flat, Mr. Oakley. You've got that angle. What the hell are you going to do with it? As the calculated distance, the 60 times the number of degrees, is the number of degrees around a bloody circle or a sphere. Chuff nugget. Chuff nugget. Oh dear. Yes, so I'm going to... No, I'll leave that there. So top left awards at midnight. I'm looking forward to this. I really am looking forward to finding out who has won. I don't know who else is going to be on the show. We know that Mucktoon, who popped in here a little earlier, Mucktoon is going to be on there with Fight. But aside from that, it's all going to be news to me. And it's going to be a late night for me. This morning I was up at 5 to start at 7, so that was hard. But tomorrow I start at 5 p.m. so I can have a long lay-in, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm quite looking forward to doing some live streaming, guesting on a channel in the early hours of the morning. Who is this Marcus? Marcus is the best. Who's Marcus? Don't know Marcus. Talk about Marcus Dresden. I don't know. I know very little of what's going on here. Very little. Slap his ass and call him Shirley. Whose? McFlatty. Yes, wasn't it McFlatty nominated? That would be interesting. Jeren. I don't see much of Jeren. I've only done one of Jeren's videos. That's when he was doing the transit of the ISS across it was the sun, across the sun. And he got some brilliant photos of it, which showed the ISS, as predicted on a website, using his own equipment. And then he said, but we don't know what it is. Despite the fact it's ISS shape, despite the fact that every couple of years as they were building it, it was a different shape that equated with the photographs of it. But oh no, having actually managed to photograph the ISS, he then denied it was the ISS. Another chuff nugget. Oh, FDEP World says, everyone here has been very nice. Well, that's good. That's good. Perhaps you'll come back again, FDEP World. Perhaps we can sort out another chat stroke debate on here, if you wish. Mr. X, Mr. White, yes. See you later. Midnight on FTFEs. There was a voting video for Plan a Walk. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, I hope Plan a Walk hasn't won top left. But honestly, I think it's fair enough. If you're going to do top left awards, we're talking about Dunning-Kruger. So it'd be interesting to see how many people think someone like Planner, Fight, myself, well, loads of people, see if we've got Dunning-Kruger. Because by definition, if I'm Dunning-Kruger, I'm not going to know it. So it would have been helpful. But I don't think I was even nominated. Try again next year, maybe. If such luminaries as FDUT World only gets one nomination, did you do it? Did you nominate yourself, FDUT World? It could be. I tell you what, it's not a bad idea as a Flat Earth channel. Get yourself nominated to get your name out there more. Barry on. I hope you're joking there. ISS is CGI. NASA uses the HARP array to project it onto the dome. I know you're joking. You are joking, aren't you, Barry? He is joking, isn't he? Yeah. You're joking. That's all right then. Snark says it'd be hard to beat Mitchell, except for slapping his ass. Look, Snark, whatever floats your boat. Most people here are quite liberal. Help yourself. Oh dear. Oh right. Good point, Mark, says Mark Michalowski. I reckon the winner will just crow about how much they trigger the Globers. Good point. Yes, hopefully we'll get some form of response video from whoever actually manages to win. Do you know what? It's getting colder in here. That heating is on. It's getting colder in here. And it still says 21 over there. I think I need to sit over there because it doesn't feel 21. And I don't know if you notice, I'm wearing my hoodie. I never wear my hoodie when I stream. who knows what that's all about. Cold. Yeah, I mean, in the winter, it's too cold. In the summer, it's too hot. There's about 3 days in the spring and autumn where it's absolutely perfect. If it was down to me, or certainly down to Mrs. Well, I think we should put Mrs. Sensible in charge, because she'll just decree, right, the temperature is going to be 22.5 degrees, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. And it shall be done. As she speaketh, shall it be done. It always is in our household anyway. I put the heater the wrong way up. Damn, I'm applying negative heat. Moonlight. That's what it is. The moon must be shining through the windows, taking the temperature down. Damn! I'll close those curtains, keep the moonlight out. An argument's popularity doesn't indicate it to be true, and far more people believe the earth spins anyway. That's true. An argument's popularity doesn't indicate its truthfulness. Because, of course, anything that has ever been changed, any scientific belief that has been changed, by definition, when the first person came up with the alternative idea and then started to gather evidence, that was not a popular argument. It becomes the popular argument when enough people see the argument, see the evidence, and accept it. And it then becomes the popular argument, the current scientific theory. Mitchell has gone quiet. No videos for over a month. Oh, and he last wrote on a community tab 13 days ago. Well, yeah, PJC, I mentioned at the top of the stream how quiet Mitchell's been video-wise, but he has been on in comment sections of videos, making comments. I have seen him there. Please give him a kick and tell him to make another video. I need some more material. He's not keeping up his end. I mean, hey, NASA shield checks will go down if we don't get some work done. Yeah, Mrs. S is perfect. That's right. Yeah, that's right. That's what I'm always saying to Mrs. S. Under threat. 1 hour 10 and counting, says the snark. 1 hour 12, your clock's out. I'm sure it's 1 hour 12. George Hannes is interested in investigating the Stone Age projector for curiosity. Good point. Good point. These ancient civilizations, they drew star maps. What the hell was the projector of the stars and the holographic moon doing? What was that running on? Who made it? Where did they keep it? In a pyramid? Oh, I better not say that. They'll probably believe it. New pyramid conspiracy. Oh, effed up world. You're not talking about no movement, are you? See one of my videos on the Concorde at Mach 2 or whatever the hell it was, and there's a glass of champagne that's barely trembling, and that's just from the rumbling in the motors or whatever, in the engines. And the stewardess comes out through. She doesn't fly to the back of the aircraft at Mach 2. No, she's carried along with it. Conservation of momentum, my dear fellow. You're sat on your little hairy butt on your office chair, turning around with the Earth at speed. But just like that lady stewardess in Concorde, you don't suddenly get flung backwards out the window because you're travelling with it. It's travelling at a constant velocity. You go round a roundabout in a car at 80 miles an hour, you'll be hanging on for dear life. The cup you've got in your cup holder, the drink will be flying out sideways. You go around trundle around that same roundabout at a mile an hour, you won't even notice. Come on. Once again, scale. Constant speed as well in this case. Heat Shield says, can you give a general estimate of the award show duration? Listen, Heat, I really can't. I have no idea how long it's planned to go on for. I might have to bail if it goes on too long because, excuse me, that's very bad for me. Twice in one stream. I might have to bail because, as I said, I have recovered from COVID, but I mean, this is sitting down, which just does help. But even so, it does take it out of you. And I have let Fight know that I don't know. So whether it's a couple hours, if it's a couple hours, I hope to be there for the whole stream. If it's more than that, I'm probably going to have to bail out. He's not letting me know. Right, Mr. Sensible, he's talking about no movement. Oh, saying the movement isn't... Oh, so... Oh dear, this doesn't bode well, does it? I presume the argument's about, oh, look at that lake with a perfect glass finish. We can't be moving. Yes, you can be moving. On the way to the Maldives, my very first video showed a cup, a little plastic glass on the seat table, half full of Pepsi. But we were travelling at whatever speed it was. I can't remember now. 463 miles per hour or over the land, or whatever it was. Rather fast, but that Pepsi sat in the glass quite happily with a relatively smooth surface. Barry on $2 US. Don't overdo it and have a relapse. Thank you, Barry. I appreciate it. Well, like I said, I'm going to make sure I get an hour's break between it, and I have alerted Fight that if it comes to it, I might have to bail out. I hope not, because I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I like McToon, and I like Footfee. I've not met MC2, but I have met Craig. Really nice guy. Thank you, Ian Saxby. Really nice guy. So I'm genuinely looking forward to it. I don't know what other guests they have. Those clips were brilliant. Thank you, Anne and Kai. Like I said earlier on, it was fun. I did think of a couple of little things, like on the aircraft. I was hoping I'd be able to get the sun below the clouds, but that sort of shot never appeared, unfortunately. There we go. Not a problem. Oh, flipping adverts popping up on my PC. Go away. Heat Shield says, all right, so £6 of peanut M&Ms, a half keg, 2 pizzas and a nacho bar. Oh, so you're not staying for the full stream then? Going to be the greatest award show all year. I hope so. And certainly Fight can, he's good with the live stream wizardry, which always helps. If water is always level, how can people get seasick? I don't know, Tiny Captain. And you're a man, being a captain who is very tiny, who should know. Because being tiny, any waves will be particularly big for you, wouldn't they? I don't know. Pretty sure McToon is NASA CGI. It could be. I mean, I've never met him in real life, so there is no proof that he is indeed real. I shall ask him if he's real. We could do the Turing test on him. Can you tell the difference between MC Toon and a real person? Right, Martin. It says F that world. The only motion the moon makes is east to west. You're talking about its location in the sky throughout the month appearing to go east-west. That isn't motion. What? During the night, the moon's moving across the sky. Well, there's the 15 degree per hour motion across your field of view because of the rotation of the Earth, but the moon is also moving. Of course it moves during the Earth, during the month. It appears against a different backdrop of stars. So it's moved. F-Tech World, you're being a silly person. Please stop it. Or do a video about it so I can debunk it. You want who to debate McFlatty, PJCnet? Exactly, Barry on. So how can the moon change location during the night without moving? They are indeed big waves. You count a freak wave. What is it? Were you like in that movie, The Perfect Storm? Wow. Chris Durham Music Channel. Hello, my friend. Yes, the vacation was lovely indeed, and very, very restful. It was just a bug that came back, caught COVID, and felt like absolute crap for a week. But I am aware that however bad I felt, I got off lightly, and I'm grateful for that. Oh, McToon should debate McFlatty. Yeah, I think he should. Good call. I shall ask him. If I can remember, I shall ask him. That's right. Stop this. It's silly. The moon moves a little bit slower than 15 degrees. Okay, thank you, Joe. Yeah, so Earth imparts a 15 degree per hour movement on it, but it's counteracted by the movement of the moon. Thank you. Yeah, so it's moving the same direction. So it's, yeah, I got you. You see, F that world. I mean, I said earlier on about the business of the stars over a stationary flat Earth. I was saying about that the same star would be at zenith for everybody because of the parallel light. But I also said that's how I think and understand it to be. I've not seen any discussion of it or any evidence about it. And I am open and willing to be corrected if I am wrong. Hey, Mrs. S is always telling me I'm wrong, even when I'm right, and I have to be corrected by her. So yeah, I'm totally open to being corrected. That's the good. There's nothing wrong with being wrong about something, even believing the Earth is flat. If you can look at the evidence and accept that you could be wrong and move your position if you're corrected. I mean, who was it? Kyle Adams, when he was trying to debunk Mage, he made a comment about the curve, the apparent curve of the Earth, when you squished it, not being even. And I explained, well, that depends where it is on the screen when you crunch it and that. He didn't accept that at first, but I sent him some photos of football, looking at different parts of the curve, squishing it, and suggested he tried it himself. And then he came back and said, you know what, you're right. So good on him for that. I think Kyle gets an awful lot wrong. I know some people think he's a Poe, but whether he's a Poe or whether he's just misunderstanding, the point was his opinion on that, his expressed opinion, changed. He said, oh, I was wrong about that. You're quite correct. And that's absolutely fine. Good on him. Don't need to have a go at him or take the mickey out of him because he was open to being corrected and corrected himself. That's all you can ask for anyone. So I hope that with some of the things you said, you would be open to be corrected. You say silly things, people laugh at you. You say silly things, people tell you why you're wrong, and you look at it and understand it and change your position and no longer say silly things. People won't laugh at you. They will respect you for that. Hence people like Ranty Flat Earth and STST, who have changed all the way from Flat Earth to Globe Earth. I'm not even asking that. But for instance, if you could understand and accept why you would get 2 points of stellar rotation, I'd say, well done. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, you understand and accept that now. If that world debated Craig and McToon more than once. If that world, do you know, I honestly can't remember. Did I debate you? Did I chat with you on here? I honestly can't remember. I think I'm sure I've spoken to you before, but we're just approaching. In fact, it is 11 o'clock now. Listen, guys, I am going to stick to what I said. So I get a bit of a break before the top left awards. Let's just, the link is in the top. Let's just repost it in the chat now. So this is midnight UK time. So that's 2300 Zulu time, 2300 UTC, 2300 GMT. Okay, so if you're up and about, or indeed if you're in the United States of America or anywhere that is more westwards than the UK, so it's a little bit perhaps easier, then do join Fight, MC Toon, humbly myself and whoever else is guesting on it, and let's find out who the hell has won Top Left Awards 2022. It'd be great to see you all there, and if you do go, say Mr. Sensible sent you. Right. Oh, sorry, I just seen, I don't know if I said that Barry on, who said don't overdo it and have a relapse, that was a super chat. I think I said, but thank you for that, Barry. I'm not 100% sure if I just read it out without commenting it was a super chat. I appreciate that. Yes, Tiny Captain, I know what you're saying about Kyle and his daughter and the Flat Earth. No, I do appreciate that. I know there's difficulties, but the fact that with one particular thing, I think there might have been more than one, but with that one particular thing, he accepted he was wrong, changed his position. So credit to him, and I want to encourage that, and so he knows. Well, hold on, if I change my position about something else, are they all going to just take the mickey out of me? No. If you change your position because the evidence is now compelling that you were wrong, change your position, and you'll be respected for that. So I want to make sure that I give the correct credit for where it's due. I did with Brian as well with his Mage Rage one, when although he was wrong about Mage, he spotted an error with or a likely error with the temperature data. So I acknowledged that and gave him credit for that too. Right, guys? Yes, small steps are better than no steps. Thank you, Galaxy. It's only an hour, but it's a break. Have a drink and a rest. Rest my throat. So I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you very, very much for joining me. Whether you're a member or patron or not, you're most welcome. Whether you're Globe or Flat Earther, you are welcome. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you to my members and patrons who support me so kindly. It's very, very much appreciated. Come into the top left awards if you can. Let's see who won. Keep an eye out for my next video, whatever it is, because I don't know right now. So I'm going to love you and leave you. Say thank you very much. Take care and stay sensible.
Mr. Sensible, Mr. Sensible, bring me some cheese, and get me only the best if you please. Here are some flowers, let me display them. Yea, Dr. Waller, you have gone all slay them. Mr. Sensible, you are a man. Every subscriber is a faithful fan. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help us out, please. Mr. Sensible, I needed proof of gravity, so I jump off the roof. It happened not, let me go further. Why was I ever such a dumb flat earther? Mr. Sensible, I'm such a clown. I am the laughing stock of the town. Bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible, help me out, please. Mr. Sensible, bring me a sphere to which the waters of the oceans adhere. Have explanations, but let me be candid. So clear that all the fluffers understand it. Mr. Sensible, please hear my call. The earth is not flat, so let's have a ball. So bring your logic and your cheese. Mr. Sensible.